You're watching SBA Today. With all the latest news, stories, and advice, here are your hosts, Paul Long and Tanya Mazurek.
Hello and welcome to SBA Today, presented by Res Title, your SBA title experts. For the week of May 6th, I am Paul.
And I'm Tanya.
Hey.
Hey, well, Paul, hey, we're going through the SOP today and we're going to dissect it.
Well, yeah, kind of. There's some
things.
stuff going on, that's for sure.
There are some stuff going on.
Yeah, so what are some things that are happening here, Tanya?
Well, funny you should ask because there's a few things happening, right? Last Thursday, May 1st, there were new bills simultaneously introduced both into the Senate committee by the Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship, as well as House Committee on Small Business. And it is to boost SBA loans to manufacturers in the U.S. up to $10 million. They're calling this the MAMFA. Now, you guys know how much I like acronyms or lack thereof, right? But it stands for Made in America Manufacturing Financing Act. You know? Okay, so these are meant for businesses based solely in the U.S. With their NAICS codes 31, 32, and 33. So peeps, make sure when you're talking to manufacturers that they are under those NAICS codes because it does not fall for any other manufacturers which still have the amount up to $5 million that they are capped at, not $10 million. Also, let's not forget Administrator Loeffler announced April 30th that SBA will provide grants up to $1.1 million to deliver training and technical assistance to support small manufacturers in SBA's Empower to Grow E2G program. Another acronym. What in the heck is up with these damn acronyms? I need to make me another little singing or song thing with it. But anyway, these are key industries in timber, energy, aluminum, and steel. So,
and by the way, I have to say this. Sorry, Loeffler. We have to say it right.
Oh, I said Loeffler. Oh, Loeffler.
It sounds like it's got the O, but it's Loeffler.
It does.
She'd appreciate
Thanks
that.
for telling me.
Since I know she watches the show all the time.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So, they describe the goal of the E2G program as providing eligible U.S. small businesses with free business courses, hands-on training, and one-on-one consulting to support their growth, operations, hiring, regulatory compliance, and government contracting competitiveness. Now, I got to admit, doesn't that kind of sound like SBDC?
You think?
Okay.
Perhaps, yes.
Do we really need another, or maybe okay, whatever. I'm just going to let that one go, but there you go.
Who can tell? But the big point is all you bigger manufacturers with some of these little, changes that they're having for the small guys, watch out. They might be coming for you.
Yeah. Anyway, so definitely glad to see that 10 million come around, especially for manufacturing. Yeah. And as soon as they came out with talking about the manufacturing, I knew SBA was going to get hit with a new rule on that. So
imagine that.
Yeah. So I want to go over with you on another topic on this change of ownership rules. This was something that really confused me as I was going through things. And I'm the type of person that I have to truly understand it or it's going to annoy me. And if you are on video, you can see this cool chart out here.
Yeah.
But again, the thing is complete changes of ownership. So the full buyouts, those guarantees 20% or more must guarantee. Okay. We know that, right?
Right.
Also on a complete change of ownership, it's a co-borrower situation when you have an EPC OC structure for working capital, equipment, business acquisitions, anything like that, you have to be co-borrowers. Right. Okay, so that's simple. Like that's a monkey can understand that. Okay, so sorry for the monkey.
Wow. Whoa! I don't know this guy. I'm kidding.
Now, partial changes of ownership is where it got fun in the new SOP, and so any person or individual or entity that will acquire a new interest in their current ownership must be co-borrowers. So even if their ownership interest is less than 20%. Okay. So again, I'm reading this on here, but it's very important. Any remaining owners, so that they're not acquiring or increasing their membership interests, will hold 20% or more. They will fully guarantee the loan. Okay. But here's where it got weird to me. Okay. Any selling owner who will remain as an owner post-transaction, even if their interest will be less than 20%, must provide a guarantee for the full loan amount for the 2-year period. Well, hold on a second. Didn't you just say they were supposed to be a co-borrower? So are you a co-borrower or a guarantor? And I asked our friends at Nagel, and I've submitted 7A questions, and I submitted some other friends in the industry, and the answer is guarantee. It's from what I've heard on there, but I'm sure this will come out in technical corrections when that comes out, because it was confusing. So I'm like, wait, you can't be a co-borrower and guarantee. You're one or the other. So what is it? And how hard would it be if you were a co-borrower after 2 years to remove your interest? Like, bleh, horrible. So anyway,
I want to think about it, Paul. I mean, come on. Everything, I think, or the vast majority of the SOP in general can have some confusing parts around it. So this is just one more. It's just one more. It's not a big deal.
It's job security, I guess. But but there will be technical corrections. That is imminent, that will come out on there. And you know, I think what I found very interesting, I'm curious what you thought on this, Tanya, too, is, do you know how many brokers still don't know about these changes? I'm like, do you live under a rock? Like, these are big changes.
It's pretty interesting, but I mean, that's across the board, and that's how it always works. It takes people a minute. Now, this is the industry they work in. They have lots of people across the board that are actually using SBA for their loans and for their lending situation. So yes, you would think that they would know it. However, does it surprise me? Probably not. Again, more job security, Paul.
Well, it is, but this is also why brokers need to work with very well experienced SBA lenders who understand the rules, so they're not being joshed around toward the end of closing. Well,
and we can take that back too to the borrowers. Borrowers work with brokers that are well experienced as well, because that starts at the get-go. The brokers that are well experienced, let me tell you, they know what's going on right now. That's what I've found in my experience with all of my brokers, where the brokers that have been doing this a minute, that are looking for the best for their clients and aren't just transactionary. They know the rules, they know what's going on, or they're reaching out to me and asking me my opinion on the rules in advance before they're talking to the borrowers. So 100%. There you go. Yeah.
Yep. And one thing I just wanted to kind of remind and reiterate, because we've had a lot of discussion, at least in my state, when it comes to escrow holdbacks. So SBA is very clear that loan funds cannot be held in the escrow for more than 5 days. Okay. There are situations where I know that people are putting SBA funds in an escrow holdback and doing, the working capital and the accounts receivable and all the other stuff on that for over a year.
Right.
If you ever have to go back for your guarantee, good trucking luck. You're going to have a hard
trucking luck.
Trucking. Come on.
That's for all of you transportation people out there. The trucking.
So just keep that in mind on there. Anything to add on that, Tanya?
Not so much with that, but I mean, they've got other things that they have to do as well. I mean, it's the disbursements for the 12 months. Yes. And it's where the seller's note can be a great tool. A forgivable seller's note can be a great tool as well.
100%.
Yes. That's pretty much it for me.
And don't forget, you can disperse your loan multiple disbursements within 48 months. Again, does your institution want to do that? Probably not. But is it the right thing to do?
Usually 12 months.
12. But sometimes I've seen, no.
48 months.
Oh my gosh. That's
4 years.
Yeah.
Am I doing my math right? 4 years?
A lot.
I've not ran into that.
Yep.
Let's go with 12 people. Let's
go with 12. So there were 7 bills that were worked on in the House Small Business Committee. Now, keep in mind, the most important thing is, remember, bills turn into laws. Executive orders are short-term solutions, right? So out of these 7, they're not going to be surprising to you, but we're turning these into laws. And so like the first one, returning SBA to Main Street Act, this bill decentralizes the SBA, relocating 30% of its Washington, D.C. headquarters staff to locations across the country. That is being turned into a law, not an executive order. So
the next one, we're just going to kind of go through these people unless we've got something specifically to tell you. But American Entrepreneurs First Act, introduced by Representative Beth Van. No, I'm not even going to attempt this. Dune. Okay. This bill codifies recent SBA policies to ensure that taxpayer dollars are only funding legal eligible American small businesses by requiring citizenship, verification for SBA assistance applications. Again, same as Paul said, right? And 15 yay, 11 nay. But that's pretty much all of them.
They're all, by the way, all of these are 15 yay, 11 nay, and I'll let you take your own thoughts on that. But
I was rolling.
Continue, the next one, Save SBA from Sanctuary Cities Act. This bill requires SBA to remove SBA offices out of sanctuary city jurisdictions and complements action taken by SBA Administrator
Leffler. And we're going to just keep saying that to make sure that we get that correct. Okay. Capping excessive awarding of SBLC entrance. Ooh, CEASE Act. Oh my God, them and the acronyms. CEASE Act, introduced by, anyway, I'm not going there again. Well, hey, I should get this.
Representative
Bresnahan. I think I got that one. That's close to my last name. Anyway, this bill restores proper oversight capabilities to the SBA by limiting the number of authorized SBLC licenses to 16 after the Biden-Harris administration removed the limit on the number of SBLCs. Oh, Paul has something to say.
I do. Okay. Now, I'm genuinely a purple person, but can we stop blaming and just going back and forth with people when it comes to this? Even like in the wording, it's like, I would just say it used to be 16. Like, why? I don't know. This is why we're so divided as a country, and it just makes me so mad. Sorry, this is not a political show, but damn, it makes me mad.
Well, the funniest thing too is you're like, I'm typically purple. Did you know, here's a funny fact. Did you know that the only 2 colors out of all the colors that are typically either you hate them or you love them, so talk about divide, right? Is, guess what? Ding, ding, ding. My favorite color, orange. And the second one, purple. Imagine that.
That's a random fact.
Leave it to me.
But let's go ahead and keep these 16 capping on the SBLCs. I actually get an email every single time one of the SBLCs relinquishes their license, and it's every week. It's here and there and here and there. It's like, okay, be done. Next. Oh, I'm sorry. The next one is Small Business Regulatory Reduction Act of 2025. This bill requires SBA to report annually on the regulation costs of small businesses, aiming to expose the limit of burden to excess red tape and complement obstacles harming Main Street America. Cool. That makes sense.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Be transparent is what that should be called. Yep.
But that would be too easy.
I know.
I couldn't come up with some fun acronym on it. All right. The Prove It Act of 2025, introduced by Representative Brad Finstad. This bill requires agencies to consider direct and indirect cost impacts when determining whether a rule or regulation will hurt small business. You think?
Oh my God.
Come on, man. Do they even have to have an act for that? Shouldn't that just be like freaking common sense across the board?
Nope, I guess not. I guess not. But again, I mean, I welcome that. That does make common sense, and sometimes we have to pass a law for common sense. Welcome to life, America.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
I have a hard time with that one. I do. We got to pass a law for common sense.
Yeah, can we do that? And
where are we headed, or where have we been? I should say, right? Anyway, well, Paul, is there anything else out there that we want to bring up today?
Nope, that is what we got today. That's the excitement of the SBA world.
There it is. There it is. So don't forget that we are right here on LinkedIn and YouTube on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm going to bring up my time, right? Anyway, otherwise, any of the streaming platforms where you get your podcasts, also go back and look at any of our previous episodes and or our family of podcasts, the Art of SBA Lending or the Art of SBA, right? Or the BDO show, because they would love to see you as well. Paul and I love to talk to you. So if you would like to connect with either of us, do so on our LinkedIn pages. And past that, rise up with your big bad selves, because, we think you're awesome. So we'll see you next week.